The Yankees are red hot. They are scalding hot. They are 22-8 over their last 30 games. They are making even good teams like the White Sox look bad. This is starting to feel like one of those teams that could dominate on both sides of the ball for a few months and just destroy the American League. It'll probably look something like this.
Let the bodies hit the floor. 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 Hit the floor.
For us diehard fans who watch every single game and every single piece of Yankees content that we can get our hands on, it's kind of tough to have an off day during the middle of a win streak because the Yankees are red hot and you just want more of that energy, more of that dopamine hit of the Yankees winning. But it's also kind of nice to have a day off and just kind of sit back and bask in the fact that the Yankees are playing really good baseball right now. So this is a new piece of content that I'm creating for Yankees off days, where basically we get the Yankees game day intro, and then we get an episode of the Frieze, where I just kind of recap the Yankees' recent stretch of games, and you'll just see highlights from all those games playing as I talk in the background. So I hope you enjoy it. Please like and subscribe. Here you go. If, like most of us, you assumed that the recent pandemic was definitely going to be the beginning of the zombie apocalypse, and you retreated to your Cold War-era bunker beneath your tool shed, and you're just now emerging, first of all, thanks for tuning in. No zombies yet. And secondly, you've missed some exciting Yankees baseball. The Yanks are hot. The Pinstripers have won 6 in a row. 22 of their last 30. That's 22-8 in case you don't math, as I typically don't. They are undefeated in their last 10 series, and their record stands at 28-19. The main catalyst, surprisingly, has been the pitching. They rank first in ERA, fielding independent pitching, WHIP, pitching WAR, walks per 9, strikeouts per 9, batting average against, exit velocity against, and percentage of hard hit balls against. They rank first in pretty much every important pitching category. And they've done all of this without arguably their second nastiest pitcher, Luis Severino, who is nearing a return and about whom reports have been glowing so far. What's interesting is that the offensive numbers are still not what we'd expect, for several guys anyway. Some guys are really heating up. Let's start with the positive. Gleyber Torres is on fire. He's got his average up to 282, which I think we'd be happy with 282 over the course of a full season from Gleyber Torres. He's had consecutive 3-hit games. Aaron Judge has been 74% better than the rest of the league offensively. His OPS plus is 174. League average is 100. He's hitting .308 with 12 home runs, 26 RBIs, and a .407 on base percentage. And a .571 slugging percentage gives him a .977 OPS. I think he may end up with an OPS over 1,000 for the season. As the weather begins to heat up and that ball begins to travel a bit more, he may go on one of those home run tears like Giancarlo Stanton went on earlier this season. We've seen him do it before, last year against the Red Sox, remember? And he did have 4 home runs in 3 games against the Orioles, but that was kind of a smaller ballpark, and the Orioles are not good at pitching. So, it doesn't really matter what ballpark Aaron Judge is in when he starts hitting well. He can go for 4 or 5 home runs in a series against any team in any ballpark when he's hot. I want to see him go on one of those stretches in Yankee Stadium with the fans in the stands, because that will be a whole different type of energy. Gio Urshela has been the Yankees' most consistent hitter. He's batting .277 with 5 home runs and 23 RBIs, but his defense has once again been the most amazing part of his game. The defensive metrics say that he has a .4 defensive wins above replacement, but to me it feels like it should be much higher. He began a key triple play in the 9th inning of Friday's game, And that Friday night game was just a wildly fun game. Just a wildly fun game. You got two pitchers dominating, Jordan Montgomery and Carlos Rodon, both with career highs in strikeouts. Jordan Montgomery with 11, Carlos Rodon with 13. And I get it, that's a lot of strikeouts. Some people don't like the strikeout, but a good pitcher's duel is a ton of fun sometimes. I'd much rather see a game where both pitchers are dominating than when just one pitcher's dominating and the other team is scoring lots of runs, because that can kind of disengage me from the game. If it's 7 or 8-0 by the 4th inning, sure, if the Yankees are winning, that's fun, but it doesn't make for 3 hours of drama and intense attention the way that a pitcher's duel does, where every play matters, where a bounce here or there can determine the outcome of the game. And then in the 9th inning, you get that 5-4-3 triple play started by Gio Urshela that totally changed the energy in the stadium. I feel like if we look back on the season as a whole, Corey Kluber's no-hitter is going to be seen as a big moment. But I feel like the triple play in the 9th inning against the White Sox might be looked at as the turning point for this team. The point where this team said, you know what? No matter what the situation is, we can pull something out of our hat and scrap out a victory. That was the moment that changed things for me, where I started to think, these guys are not pretending. They're not just beating up on bad teams anymore. They're going toe-to-toe with a really good team. They're pitching really well against a good offense. They're playing tight defense in key situations. This looks like a good ball club. Finally, a fundamentally sound team for the most part. They've really improved in that area. And so Gio turns the triple play. Yankees walk it off. And then they completely dominate on Saturday behind Garrett Cole 7-0. Yesterday they eke out a tough win, another walk-off, literally, by Aaron Judge. So all around, a really great and fun series. Next, the Yankees play the Toronto Blue Jays, and that will take place at Yankee Stadium. So the Yankees have a day off, and they can kind of rest. They've got some guys who have been banged up. Gio Urshela is one of them. I'm sure it'll be easier on the catchers. There have been a ton of games in a row, and it's probably no coincidence that the catchers' batting averages have both fallen the further we've gotten into this long stretch of games. These guys could use a day off. That's a tough position to hit and do the job behind the plate every day. And by the way, shout out to our catchers, because without them calling the game and executing the game plan, these pitchers would not be doing as well as they're doing. So both guys calling great games behind the dish. Gary Sanchez, especially with Jordan Montgomery, and then Kyle Higashioka with Garrett Cole. Those two guys seem to have their personal preferences. And then Kyle Higashioka worked really well with Corey Kluber a few times in a row, including the no-hitter. So you got to think that Higashioka is going to be behind the dish with Corey Kluber out there on the mound on Tuesday against the Blue Jays after a day off. So I'm just looking forward to seeing what the Yankees can do against a pretty decent Blue Jays team, a team that's one game over 500. They've kind of struggled at times against the Blue Jays this year. I feel like there's a little bit of a rivalry between those two teams. And look, the Blue Jays have some really exciting young players. Bo Bichette, he swings out of his shoes, but he still hits the ball very hard. He's got a ton of power. Biggio and Guerrero, both really exciting young players. So I enjoy watching the Blue Jays, even though they've been beating up the Yankees from time to time. But I think the Yankees, the way they're pitching right now, if they can extend this another series, 3 more days, you've got Corey Kluber, Domingo Germán, and Jordan Montgomery. One more really good start out of those guys, I think you'll be in first place. I think you'll get there if you sweep this series. And then you've got the Tigers on the road. And I think the Yankees are going to handle the Tigers once again. They swept them earlier this year. So there's a chance for this 6-game winning streak, if the Yankees can somehow get through Toronto and stay hot, to turn into a 12-game winning streak. And then you've got some separation. So I like the direction the Yankees are headed. You've got Luis Severino coming back soon. Hopefully Zach Britton and Darren O'Day coming back soon. The entire bullpen has been pitching great. The rotation has been phenomenal. Some key guys are heating up on offense. Some guys are lying in the weeds. I think Luke Voigt's going to bust out here pretty soon. I think Miguel Andujar has been having better at-bats. I don't know that he's going to see a ton of at-bats if Clint Frazier heats up, because they'll probably play Clint Frazier in left field, although you may see Andujar kind of fill in and give guys a day off. As you eke Giancarlo Stanton back into the lineup, he'll probably get days off. You might be able to put Andujar at DH. I think he'd be a pretty good DH. So the Yankees are going in the right direction. I'm liking the way this summer's looking. Let's hope that they can continue with the strong fundamental baseball, strong pitching and defense, because those things don't go into slumps. Hey guys and gals, be sure to check out the Teespring store for some fresh summer designs from NYY Recaps. Also now available on all your favorite podcast platforms, The Frieze by NYY Recaps. Get most of the post-game reactions and the Yankees game day episodes in audio form, along with interviews with new